Hey, it's Jason with Dad's That Cook. We are learning some crazy new things today. The challenge is figuring out how to use new ingredients. And I'm here in Maui with John Cadman, and he's showing me how to use breadfruit, otherwise known as ulu.
Ulu. If I had you close your eyes and I put this in, you'd say probably tastes like, and this
Potato.
is potato, exactly. That's the right answer.
Potato.
You can't actually make bread out of it, but there are hundreds of other things you can make. Today we're going to do a simple ulu curry with the breadfruit, but I also make what my business is called Pono Pies.
That's right.
And the really cool thing about breadfruit is if you let it ripen, it'll go from the potato stage, it'll get soft and sweet, it'll have a tropical taste, almost like banana pineapple mix.
And I do know what you're talking about with the Pono Pies because that's how we found you.
Right.
That's one of the first things we buy when we come to the island. I think they say guilt-free on them, am I right?
Guilt-free from Maui.
Guilt-free, they're unbelievable. If you're in Maui, you gotta find Pono Pie because they are. The chocolate is probably one of my favorites. We love the mango.
My favorite.
The sweet potato one we just discovered. So we're gonna take your breadfruit now and we're gonna make a curry with it. Is that correct? Is this something that the family likes to eat?
The family loves it. It's one of the most popular dishes. We actually have a breadfruit festival once a year on Maui. Any curry, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with our root vegetables, onions and carrots. Actually, it worked in cafeterias, but came to Maui 40 years ago, been working in restaurants, hotels, and schools even. Every time you turn it, you angle your knife, and it gives it a nice little, put these guys in there. And then we'll cut up maybe a little bit of leeks. I'm gonna saute this in coconut oil. Coconut oil takes a nice high heat. We are sweating the vegetables. And the seasoning in this can go a lot of ways. We're just gonna add a little bit of salt right now. And it can be on a pretty high heat right now. So we'll let that go for about a minute or so. Because one of the really nice things about ulu is, if I were to put a potato in the pan at this point, the potato would get way too soft, and by the end of it would fall apart. Breadfruit doesn't do that.
It doesn't do that.
It'll absorb the moisture, and but it'll help thicken the sauce.
Oh, wow.
So it's got some really nice cooking properties that potato doesn't have that I really like.
I wonder if the breadfruit's in the mainland at all.
No, from about 20 degrees south, 20 degrees north.
Okay.
So it is just a tropical fruit. I think we sweated them enough. Are you guys sweaty enough?
Looks like it.
Yep, they're sweaty enough. We're just gonna add some coconut milk.
Because you went down and got the coconut, right?
In a pinch, you can use a can. But,
yeah, of course.
Of course.
But you were up in the trees getting the coconuts.
Yeah. Now this is just a basic curry paste.
Okay.
This stuff is pretty hot, so you want to, depending on how
spicy
hot
you
like it.
Right?
Yeah. So we're gonna add maybe a tablespoon of that.
Okay.
And some Madras curry powder, but you can use about any kind of curry powder you'd like. Traditionally, curries have a little bit of fish sauce in it. I'm gonna add some. Now it's not a vegan dish, but if your friends are vegan and you want to do that, you don't have to add this. But it adds a really nice flavor to curries.
Smells amazing.
But at this point, we're just gonna let it saute and let this breadfruit just absorb. Now, you'll notice
it doesn't break apart at all, so you'll have these small
never
chunks.
break apart.
You'll have these small chunks that you bite into.
Yeah, it absorbs the flavor of the sauce or whatever it is you're cooking it in. It doesn't break down.
Oh, okay.
It'll get softer, like right now it's kind of like a raw potato. We're gonna turn that up and
all right,
and let her go. So this has been quartered and steamed.
Oh, okay.
So this is not raw breadfruit. This is steamed breadfruit.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
So important to point out,
Wow, check out that seed. And you just kind of go in here and you grab this seed. Got my water going. Because we're gonna make our curry dish, kind of like John did. We made the curry dish with the breadfruit. I've got my kid here, Corbin. He's gonna be my taste tester. You're gonna go for the breadfruit.
Yep.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Let me try it out.
That tastes like a sweet potato.
That's what John said. And how many kids do you have?
At last count, 4. Yep.
That you know of, right?
4 boys.
Exactly.
Yep.
4 boys.
4 boys.
That's like my mom.
Yeah.
And my
And
parents.
one of my sons actually helps me with the business.
That's great.
He's my helper. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that smells good.
But yeah, now see how this is thickening up?
Yeah, it is.
See that? That's the breadfruit. But the breadfruit is still definitely still intact.
chunky in there, yeah.
You can use potato, but you know what? You can use sweet potato, yams, you know, any kind of real starchy vegetable in place of that. And
maybe not throw it in so soon though.
right. In that case, I would let it simmer and throw it in towards the end.
Yeah. Because that's only going to take a good 5-10 minutes
Exactly.
maybe, and then.
Yeah. Whenever I talk about breadfruit,
Which you love to talk about breadfruit, by the way.
I love to talk about breadfruit, is it wasn't getting utilized. And we are so food insecure in Hawaii. We import 90% of our food.
Wow, really?
And most of the breadfruit, up until, you know, fairly recently, was just dropping. Nobody was using it. So now people are realizing, and you know, maybe in small part thanks to Pono Pies, that breadfruit is so versatile, so beneficial and useful that people are actually starting to grow it. So now there are farms and people are growing breadfruit intentionally with, you know, to actually grow it as a fruit. I like to add, this is some Italian parsley, but you can add cilantro and basil, which I really like. Any kind of fresh herb at the end always gives it a nice finish.
Well, let's give it a whirl, John.
Yeah,
let's see how it
let's
tastes.
have you try some ulu curry.
I might burn my mouth off, but other than that, right?
Yeah, it shouldn't be too hot.
Even on an ulu plate, check this out.
Right.
It's pretty hot. That looks like a piece of ulu right there.
Yep.
Oh, wow, that's good.
We need some rice.
Well,
Sorry.
yeah, but no.
It's really early in the morning. I didn't get the rice pot on yet.
I could eat this just the way it is, though.
Yeah.
And you're right, the paste has a nice kick to it.
Yeah.
But the ulu is nice and soft.
Yeah.
And it just melts in your mouth.
Yeah.
But it has enough of a texture there that you're like, oh, that's a potato. It really does have that potato flavor. It's so amazing. So we got to learn a ton of great stuff here about the breadfruit, otherwise known as ulu, and I got to try this curry dish. Was so simple, but incredible flavor. You can make it at home. It's easy. We'll give you the recipe. Thanks, John, for hanging out with us.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thanks for
really
stopping by.
Appreciate the knowledge and learning some new stuff, because that's what it's all about, people, is learning and experimenting and finding new things to play with in the kitchen.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
Exactly. So we'll see you next time. Make sure you go over here and click on the next button over here, because we're going to show you some new tricks on how to do experimenting in the kitchen right here.